And, you know, the fact that he got away with the domestic violence because he wasn't being charged with domestic violence, but then there's video footage. And this is what I was trying to say in the courtroom. You can only base your decision on what the evidence is laid out. Hello, welcome to UCal. My name's Jordan.
My name's Lauren.
We have some topics inside our teapot. They're random. We can't remember what's in there. We haven't replenished it for a while, so we're going to pick one now. She is. And we're going to talk about it. And you can comment and subscribe.
Jury service!
Oh, bugger.
Yes! This is a good one, because I love it when it's mainly your chat.
I don't, because it always seems like, oh, Jordan's just yabbering away.
I have got one experience where I got out of jury service.
Oh yeah, share.
Boom. Because I was like, I ain't doing this. Got to pay me.
Do you know what jury service is? Some people might not. You have to be 18 to do it. And what? You basically get selected to go to, like, is it summoned?
Yeah.
To go to court to be one of the 12 jurors in court cases. And I'm assuming you got asked in the UK.
Yeah, in Aberdeen. But he's been a whiner. But I was like, I had two young kids. And they and Michael would work away around me and stuff. I just couldn't have done it. I had no one to look after my kids or anything. They wanted me to go and be on a jury all day.
You need to get rid of the dog.
And I had, no.
Yeah, I think there's way back when I got originally asked, when my son's 18 now, and he was one, it was a long, long time ago. And same thing, don't let him ruin the mic.
I know he's not. So I had to email them and say, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think I had to contact them and say I couldn't do it because I had a baby. My husband was working, didn't have anyone to look after the baby, and it was a valid reason. I think maybe an excuse for some, which I think fair enough, but I think it's valid if you don't want to do that because it's like for a certain amount of time. Now in Australia, it's slightly different.
Oh, is it?
So I got summoned last year and it went to my old address. So it was the start of last year and then they sent me a letter to the new address. I'm like, how, like, I think you're obviously registered in different places for different things, right? And there's lots of paperwork. And one of the things is, you know, if you can't, you know, I think it needs to be exceptional circumstances. I think for the childcare thing, you still have to do it. Oh no, I nearly called your dog Pickles. Stop it.
I forgot.
Is it the same colour as Pickles?
Yeah, but he doesn't look like Pete, he's a boy. Oh. He's got a willy.
Oh my gosh. Right, okay, so I did get out of it though, but not for that reason. So I was all...
What, here?
Yeah. I had to go. I didn't do it though. I didn't go in the room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
but you went to do it.
I really didn't want to. One of my friends said, oh, I think you're meant to meet someone there. And I did. I met someone who's now a friend. So this is a year ago. So that's a good thing. Oh, it's such a strange experience for me. I pick up on a lot of energies. I'm a very open person. I don't really leave the house. No, but you know, I'm going to this big courtroom.
He's fine.
I can't do this one. I can't do it. We're going to have to... The dog smells. It's trying to eat the microphone.
No, he's going to sleep. He's just farting.
He's farting. Yeah, that's a progressive thing. It's not that he's done it past tense once, we can deal with it. He's continually doing it.
Isn't it weird that Bella never farts, but he does all the time? He fucking stinks.
It's not something I sit and ponder over time, but anyway. So jury service. I went along, took some things to keep me busy because I don't know, you know, not everyone gets called out. Anyway, you hand in the paperwork, whatever, you go and sit down, and where I was in the queue, you have to go through it's like the airport, right? You've got to security, scan your bag. I wasn't allowed stuff in there anyway. So
I bet you can't have your phone actually, because you can record.
I can't remember. I don't think I could have my phone on, and I was like, I think my husband had to take time off work in order to be able to. Yeah, he did, in order to be able to like pick up my daughter. And I think any parent generally, and most workplaces are good with this unless it's an unusual job and you can't have your phone, like down the mines or whatever. But most jobs understand that as a parent, you're going to want the school to be able to contact you if there's any reason, right? So for me, like I feel like when I'm not with my kids, I like to be able to. Oh my gosh, I can't do this. Oh God. That's so meaty. I can't sit next to him. I'm a vegetarian. That feels like I just ate a burger.
That is the most disgusting smell. It's because I gave him a pig's ear when we filmed the other one that didn't film. What a waste that was. I'm sorry, little
Can you just like...
He needs a poo-poo.
Can't you just put him out so he poos then? Why is he making it sound like a bird?
Because you'd be mean to him.
I think we need to choose a different topic.
No, because I want to hear about your jury service.
Oh, well, it's not easy to talk about bloody jury service when you've got a dog.
Have the candle.
I might have to.
It'll smell nice.
Although I've got this thing where I don't like bad smells and nice smells mixed together. Messes with my brain. Like, you know, people go, "Oh, spray the air freshener in the toilet when they've gone to the toilet." I'm like, doesn't get rid of it. It merges the smells.
Talking of air freshener.
Talking of air freshener, what?
That room spray you bought me.
Is it horrible?
It died.
What do you mean?
It was awful. I was so guilty.
Where is it?
It's gone.
Oh, why didn't you just give it to me? It was expensive. I would have had it.
It died.
What do you mean it died?
Oh my God. It was, you know, my candles on my fire. I put it on there.
But you're supposed to spray it.
Yeah, but I just place it on there so that I can spray it. I absolutely loved it. And Michael decided...
Oh, you liked it?
Oh my God, I loved it.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't like it.
And he decided he was going to light the fire. So we sat there and the fire had been on for hours and whatever. And then all of a sudden we heard this hissing noise. Like he'd forgotten to take the candle and the spray off the top.
Did you get the crystals out?
Because we never use the fucking fire. Like, I think we used it 3 times. And I sat there and hear this hissing noise. I'm like, what is that? And then I was like...
Did you take the crystals out of it?
No, I explained what happened. Michael ran over, got the oven gloves, picked it up, and he put it in the sink and as he went to put it in the sink, it just exploded. He is so lucky he had his glasses on because he was watching TV. It shattered and went all over it, covered in...
She said shattered.
There was fucking perfume shit all over my kitchen, bits of glass everywhere, and I was like, I did love that smell. I was like, I didn't fucking love it when it coated my whole kitchen.
That's amazing.
And oh my God, and then I felt so guilty because you just bought me it. And I really liked it.
I thought you said you didn't like it, and then I was like, you give it to me then. All right, okay. Now we've moved on from the smell conversation. Why am I laughing? Oh, for the love of God.
My good boy.
He's not a good boy, is he?
Because it's annoying you, so I'm loving it. What were you talking about?
Can you drive this with questions? Because I don't have...
Right, okay, jury service. This is what the main one I want to know. Do they feed you? Like, did you get a free lunch? Is it worth it?
Oh, I don't know because I didn't stay long enough. Oh. I refused to go in, is my point.
Yeah, why did you... So you met this woman.
Yeah, so we had a chat and we kind of like...
He doesn't normally stink this much. I don't know what is going on.
We kind of said to each other, oh, if we get called in the same time, let's make sure we go in and do it, right? It was really weird. There's a lot of different types of people in the space, a lot of energies. And when I walked in after going through like the security, like showing your bag and everything, did we take our shoes off? I can't remember. I think we did. And then you have to like report that you're there to one of the people on their computers. And then someone kind of directed me to the right which there were rows and rows of chairs, and there were about 2 chairs available and lots of people. And I'm like, I'm not going to sit in that space when there is a whole empty room right opposite, right? I'm not going to go and sit in the one spare chair because I like my personal space. And someone came in at that point and started having a bit of a panic attack because they'd also directed her to that space, but she wasn't as, you know, like maybe confident. Like I just thought, I'm not going to sit there. I know that I would feel really closed in that environment. So I went over to someone and I said, because I had to change my address on something as well, so I had to write down more details. And I said, can I sit over there? Like, so this other girl hadn't asked, and because she started having a bit of a panic attack, they let her leave. So I went to sit down, and then this other person sat down, and we chatted away and we connected, and it was really nice, you know, had someone to talk to and stuff. Then she got called, and I got called. So I need to give a little warning and disclaimer here because it's a bit of a heavy topic. And obviously the other people were there, and we got told there and then, we're in the like hallway, oh, this is a child sex case. And I turned around, and I'm not a big swearer, you can vouch for that. I actually said the F word a little bit audibly. Like I turned around and I met face to face with like a man who was about 20 years older than me. And I went, I didn't realise there's a man's face right there and I'm swearing in his face. And obviously he didn't receive that great, but he was quite calm. He was just like, probably just thought I was some kind of like ruffian. I thought, I don't know whether I can do this. I really genuinely don't think I can go into that room. And so then she said, oh, sorry, everyone needs to go back in the main area and sit down. The courtroom's not ready. So I was thinking, oh, maybe they're going to stop it. Maybe I can go home, right? But then I'm thinking, maybe I'm meant to go in there. Maybe I'm supposed to make a difference in this situation. Maybe I'm supposed to listen to this stuff. But I was really not in a great place. I was like, I don't think I can do this.
And that's because of personal stuff?
Personal stuff. But then when I went out, there was a young lad there. I say young lad, he was probably about 20 years younger than me, maybe more. And he was visually, you know, he had a limb difference, and he also was saying that he's autistic. And you know, the signs of, I mean, I've been around a lot of people that have been diagnosed with autism and those that identify. And he had, you know, those characteristics about him. And he went up to the woman and said, I've got autism and I've also got a disability. I don't want to go like in and whatever. And she said, oh, you have to go in, and then you can show the letter. And if you get called up to go into the, you know, into the jury, like as one of the jurors, then you can give the judge the letter then, because you're allowed, because how it works is you get summoned, you go to the court, then your number gets called out, but there's more than 12 of you and they only need 12. So then you all go into the courtroom where the case is going to happen, and then they call 12 of you. But if one of those people has a valid reason why they don't or can't do the case, then they can give a note to the judge. So I've got all of this stuff going in my head right now, and I'm thinking, while she's just said, if you have a valid reason why you don't want to go into the room, she's just basically said that this young lad has to go in. So I'll be honest with you, like full transparency, I was struggling. I was like, I don't want to go into, like, I'm thinking I will not be able to unhear that, like whatever, because what they do is they read out the case, they read the details of the case, you listen to what the case is, and then they call your number to see whether you're going to be part of the case, right? So I'm thinking the damage, with want of a better term, for someone who's had different traumas in their life or whatever, is already done at that stage, right? Like, I don't want to be hearing that. So it's interesting because I'm actually a holistic counsellor. So I listen to a lot of people's stories. Yeah, it's a different thing when you're working with people that are on a healing journey, right? To being in a courtroom environment. Now, I went up to her and I said, I don't think I can go in. And she was like, what's the reason? And I explained that I had been in a courtroom before for a similar situation, and I was feeling like overwhelmed by it, and I did start to get a bit teary and stuff, and I don't want to be in that situation again. And the main thing is, this sounds terrible, but at that point, again, full transparency, I'm a very balanced person with views on certain behaviours, and I think that as humans we're all fallible, we all make mistakes and things like that. But at that point, I knew when there's a child involved with that type of offence, I wouldn't have been able to be impartial. Because one of the videos they show you is that you can only base your response on the information you've been given. So there's me, a really inquisitive person. I'm not going to be able to say, yeah, but this is, I can't. You can ask questions, but obviously they're not going to want someone in there asking a million questions. I don't know. Point is, she could probably see that she probably just didn't want me in the room, because I was like, I don't think I can be impartial.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's no way you would have been able to.
Would you?
Anyone in that kind of case is...
It's really difficult, isn't it? And it's like, I don't know whether I even wanted to get to the point of... And it took me a couple of days to process even that part of the experience. My friend went in for a robbery, but that also included a little bit of violence, and luckily she wasn't called up. But again, she struggled with that, and I think it's tricky.
If I ever had to do it, I think I'd be quite harsh. I'd be like, you're guilty. Obviously, if there was loads of evidence to say that they weren't, but you know how they get off on the most stupid bloody shit? I'd be like, nah, you're guilty.
Well, one of my neighbours I saw the next day, and I said, I don't know whether I made the right decision. I mean, obviously I did, because my physiology was taken over, if that's the right. My nervous system.
You, I mean, it wouldn't have been good for your mental health as well. We would have brought up a lot of stuff that you probably don't need to be.
Yeah, I think there's stuff. I think there's been a resilient person and being healed and healing and moving forward and being progressive, but I don't like to put those things in. Even if I hear a headline on, a news headline with certain things like that, and it troubles me for a little bit. You've told me stories before, right? They trouble me. I'm not going to lie. They stick with me for a bit, and then I have to learn that this doesn't happen all the time. It's not everybody, and but yeah, anything involving children particularly, but any sexual violence, I think I struggle with due to personal experience. And she did say to me, if you get called again, you won't have to be on a case like that. But I also think, wow, I do get the court system. I get that we have to have something like that. But it's weird, because I got that but when I quit my job. So did it show, I quit my job, so then there's somewhere along the records that I'm not working maybe. I don't know. But then people go there when they're working,
Yeah, they pay you.
Yeah, they give you a certain amount of, I didn't claim for anything. I was only there for a couple of hours anyway, and as a freelancer, it's a bit different. You have to show that there's a certain amount of income that you would have had that day or whatever, or, if you're working on a new business, you have to prove that you would have been working and what that means for your business. So I think they have certain elements of the process covered quite well. I think some elements of the process have been going on way too long and haven't been changed. There are a couple of stories. I don't even know whether I'm allowed to even share this stuff. Hopefully I am. I've not shared anything Yeah, but there are a couple of stories that my friend told me of the jurors that were going in there, and it's I guess they're doing this every day, all the time, and yeah, I'm glad I didn't have to spend 4 or 5 days of my life listening to those things.
You wonder why they don't like have a pool of people, like a large pool of people who maybe work part-time or in their own business or aren't working, who are vetted, you know, so that, like, say someone like me. I guess
that is their vetting process, isn't it?
Yeah, but then just pay them to do it, and then it'd be so much easier to get people to do it.
Yeah, but I think it's about being fair in the sense of like what's ethical, what's moral. They're basically saying they want to have a broad lot of people. But I'll tell you this now, there were hardly any, and I know they pick the numbers and it's not by name or gender or whatever, there were hardly any women in the group that was called out for me, and that was in the group of however many there were more than 12. Let's say for argument's sake there was 20, I don't know, right? But as we know that not everyone gets called up. So it's weird because it's like, is there then a fair, is it distributed across gender, race, age? Is it really?
You know that OJ Simpson trial? So I watched it on Netflix. I watched both, the one with the actors and then the one actually of his trial. And both sides got to pick. They took it in turns. They got to pick the jurors. I don't know if that's just in America. So like OJ's the team were just picking all the black people because they wanted people that would
understand, have some level of empathy.
Because that's the angle that they were using, so I'm just like, is that not the same? Is that just in America then?
The person, so like the legal team, the legal team, and I think this may have happened in the room that my friend was in, but the legal team are allowed to say no to someone, but you have to have a valid reason as an individual, but they can just say no, which could be that the person has a visual likeness, I guess, to somebody in the, I don't know, I don't know what the reason was.
So it's not like America where they pick?
I don't know, I didn't go in the room, luckily. I have been in courtrooms before, but...
Because that, to me, blew my mind. It's like, he probably would have gone away.
I watched I don't even know what you call him. Is it Buffy, P. Diddy?
Oh yeah, P. Diddy.
I watched the documentary on that, and I nearly didn't, because I was like, do I want to see... And again...
Is it worth it? Because I started watching it, and I was like, oh, this is a bit boring.
Yeah, so I stayed watching it because of what you would think was boring, I found interesting. It was like, it showed like an industry at around a time I was quite interested in it. I think, was it the 90s? I don't know. I found that cultural element of it interesting. I was pleased that there wasn't as much conversation about the abuse side. When some of those things were talked about, I did I don't feel comfortable watching this because I feel too much for the situation and the victim, and I'm just like, man. And, the fact that he got away with the domestic violence because he wasn't being charged with domestic violence, but then there's video footage. And this is what I was trying to say, in the courtroom, you can only base your decision on what the evidence is laid out. One of the things my neighbour said to me as well, that the next day, she said 20 odd years ago, she was a juror in a rape case. She said to me, you made the right decision. She still watches stuff on TV now, and she always questions and remembers back that experience because they had arguments. The jurors had arguments because they could only base it on the evidence. You can't base it on a hunch. You can't base it on something that you think was said but wasn't hard evidence. I don't know. And she said that when she came out the courtroom, the guy was all celebrating and saying thank you to the jurors, and then the victim of that said crime, she walked out, and obviously different. And I know that's the way it is, right? I know that's the way of the world. I'm not saying that everyone who's in the courtroom has committed the crime. I'm not saying any of that, but I do feel like something needs to switch, because when I watched the P. Diddy one, there were 2 jurors that actually spoke on the documentary. And the way documentaries work, some documentaries, if they're done by production companies, might pay an individual. They might cover the travel, or they might give food, or they might give them a loss of income. They generally don't pay people, at least in what I understand documentaries in the UK and stuff. because it's classed as a witness, and a witness is always more credible when you're not going, hey, do you want 5k or 50k or whatever, right? So there's 2 jurors on there, and I felt uncomfortable because the female juror seemed to be a bit starstruck, and I'm like, she obviously knew who he was. Obviously, if there's a famous person in the courtroom, you're gonna, right?
Yeah.
Like, it seemed like she knew what he was. And the way she was talking, I was just like, did you just say he was innocent because, right? And then the guy, juror, he mentioned the girlfriend, oh, she wouldn't have stayed with him for that long. I don't know, like, I get it and I get the viewpoints, but I'm just like, the girl, if you watch it, the girl was like beautiful, young, talented singer. And he'd obviously promised her a certain amount of fame, whatever, right? And then she's fallen into this cycle of, yeah, the relationship was horrendous, really. And I just like, how can it, and I get there's always more than one side to the story, but I'm like, how can anyone sit there and comfortably say she was kind of okay with that just because she didn't bolt? What was her option at that point? Years roll into years sometimes when you're in an abusive relationship, right? So I don't know, I kind of felt like the jurors weren't completely, you know, disconnected from their personal bias in that situation.
Yeah. It actually makes me think, why don't, you know, that kid with autism trying to get out of it? People like him probably would be the perfect, because they would just see the facts. They wouldn't have any empathy or anything.
Oh, I know, I think they have empathy,
No,
but they might have had too much empathy.
I mean, you know how, like, they say, like, not obviously everyone on the spectrum, but one of the signs is that you're not as empathetic, and you're very black and white, and you just, you know, they would maybe just see
they might not be driven by emotion,
yeah,
but then some people on the autism spectrum might be way too much affected by it. Like, there might be a small thing, it might be just a sound or a word or something that could make their response unpredictable. I don't know. Like, I think it's good to have a variety of people,
I wonder,
on the jury panel, but I don't know whether that's actually the case.
You know how they're like bringing out robots and stuff? I wonder if in the years to come it'll just be robots on the, because
AI jurying.
Because then they don't have, they only have the fact.
That's a really like interesting concept, because they'd be programmed just to pick up on the evidence. And I think that's what it is the woman that said that I could go, she obviously saw that I was the opposite of a robot, right? Like, I'm not gonna be that person that just focuses purely on the evidence of something. Also, what if you need a wee?
Oh my God, that would be like my worst nightmare.
Like,
I would need a wee just because I knew that I couldn't leave. Or like, you know how much I sit here and my head starts itching and my eyes annoying me.
And she's got a dog on her lap. Oh, he's quite soft now.
Yeah, he's lovely and stuff. And the minute I'm in an environment, it's like, you know, when you have an exam and I'm like, all of a sudden I'm like, my stomach's rumbling, my head's itching. You know? Like,
yeah.
Oh, I think it'd be my worst nightmare. I really hope. Maybe I shouldn't become a citizen. I don't want to get picked.
Oh, gosh. Oh, look, I don't know.
Although I would love to do a proper cool case, like a murder or something.
What? How is that a cool case? That would be harrowing. Like, I don't...
If I want to put them away. I just want to read the evidence.
Well, that's the thing as well. Yeah, but you say, we're slightly different characters. So it's like, I couldn't...
Oh, I love like crime.
I wonder if I could like detach from certain things. I think that topic is just something I just don't want it in my space. The topic that I was like, no, I don't want to go in there.
I would struggle even though I've never gone through anything like that, just in the fact that I've got a daughter.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I would struggle with it.
So that's a really fascinating topic. I know people that have done jury service and they're kind of fine with it, or they'll have like a
boring case,
a small case, a short case, and I think you have to be available for 5 days. But also, I think if you're on a long case, you have to be available for that, you know. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's interesting.
It's definitely flawed. I think the whole legal system's flawed.
Yeah, maybe it'll just change one day when everything turns into rainbows and unicorns and people are nice to each other. We won't need the courtroom, you know? But yeah, it is a place of like, don't know. The vibe in there is also, I felt like when I walked out of there, and I know it's a nervous system thing, but I did feel like I'd just come out of a different dimension. It was a different time of day. It just felt...
It's exhausting.
I felt very drained even in that short amount of time. It's weird, and I hadn't gone in there.
Stress.
Yeah, I think it was just stress of like that fear of what could it have been, and I don't want to have to deal with that, you know? But yeah, it's peculiar. But yeah, let us know, like, maybe you're watching from somewhere else other than Australia or the UK. What's your jury system like? Do you get summoned? But yeah, let us know. Pop in the comments and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Oh my gosh. Oh, here we go again. Here we go again.
Billaboo. I don't know what the other one is. Hold on.